All right. Billy, I'm letting folks in here.
Okay.
Here, who would like to lead things off with our first question? Sam, go ahead, please.
How difficult is it, when so much is out of the hands of your players, for them to concentrate all the way through in this kind of a game?
Yeah, I think, Sam, that was the challenge today, for our team. We don't control our own destiny, but, we live another day, so to speak, here. But it's out of our hands. And, I thought it was important that we, show up and do our job, as best we can. I thought we played we didn't start the game well, but I thought we recovered, rebounded, and, played pretty well, midway through the first and pretty much through the second period. And then the third quarter, we started off okay in the beginning, but then we turned the ball over, entirely too much. But I think on some of the things today, that's been kind of this team's challenge. In a lot of ways, it's been the turnovers, it's been the fouling. I think we got to, gain better awareness of how you allow teams to get back in games, and I don't know, Sam, I look at it differently from the perspective. These guys are playing a game of basketball, something we've all been around our whole entire lives, and you love it. And you should be able to go out there and just compete and play. And, I thought the turnovers and them getting out in transition kind of fueled them, ignited them, gave them energy, gave them life. And then obviously Stanley Johnson, with the way he played, I think really carried their team in a lot of ways. But, you got to be able to understand, when you get up by 22, 24, you're like, what are the things that allow teams to get back in the game? Turnovers, fouling, three-point shooting, offensive rebounding. And, a lot of those things, happened for a good portion of that second half.
Thanks.
Yep. Casey, go ahead.
Billy, taking away his scoring, what has stood out to you regarding Kobe in terms of just controlling the five-man unit that he's playing with in this starting stint as compared to his starting stint earlier in the season?
Yeah, I think I've said this before, Casey. I think Kobe has helped Vooch, and Vooch has really helped Kobe, because I think Vooch, on his post-ups, he needs shooting in front of him and at least one pass away from him or two passes away, because, when teams have got to make a decision of when to go double. And I think that when we've obviously posted the ball a lot more, and I think for a young point guard like Kobe, sometimes the faster the game gets going up and down the floor, there's a lot more quicker decisions you have to make in those situations. And certainly our pace and tempo is probably not what it was earlier in the year. And he doesn't necessarily have to rely on himself to create. He can allow Vooch to kind of create for him. And Vooch creates either a lot of jump shots or a lot of closeouts for him. And, I think the two things Kobe does exceptionally well is, he's a really good, three-point shooter. But I also think when he gets into the teeth of the defense, he can see, and he can get other guys involved in other guys' shots. So I think those two guys have really helped each other quite a bit.
And a quick one on Patrick Williams. Was there any reason why you didn't go back to him? Was it just the way Lowry and Thad were playing, or? Yeah,
I mean, I thought I didn't think Patrick did anything terrible that he didn't play. I thought Lowry gave us really good minutes off the ball. I thought there was some opportunities for Patrick. I'm going to talk to him tomorrow. I thought there's some shots he should have taken. He had to travel, I think, one time and bypass. He made that 1-3 at the corner, but he's going to have to take, those shots when they're there for him. And he's got to be able to, understand that we need him to shoot the ball. But I just thought Lowry really was playing pretty well. I thought that gave us, some good minutes too. Obviously, when they cut into the lead, I felt pretty comfortable having Garrett guard Stanley Johnson. Not to say Patrick did a bad job on him, because he didn't, but I just felt a lot of confidence as a veteran guy, having Garrett out there on him. But it was just one of those things where I think Lowry was playing well, and we just tried to play with the guys that were playing pretty well, and Larry, I thought, had two good stints, both, in that end of that first quarter through the second quarter, and then, third quarter and through the fourth. He gave us a good lift.
Thanks, Billy.
Yep.
Joseph, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. With the season winding down and this year being a year of evaluation for this roster, what is some of the growth you liked out of this team just overall?
Well, the thing that I enjoy is I enjoy being around these guys every day. I feel like they try to do everything you ask them to do. I think it's a pretty connected group as a team. I think there's good relationships. They get along really well. That part of it's been great. I think Kobe has grown, a lot during the course of the year. He's obviously, as a young player, you have ups and downs, but I really have loved the way he's matured and grown. I think Zach is still searching and striving to continue to get better and improve. Obviously, he was an all-star this year, but I think winning's important to him, and I think he's figuring out the mental side of what goes into that. Again, I think Lowry, really was playing very, very well before he hurt his shoulder. I think when he came back, there was a few games when he came back after the All-Star break, but then the trade deadline happened, and our team really changed. We've added a lot of front court players. He's been a total team guy. I've loved the way Thad's played all year long, his leadership, the way he's conducted himself as a professional. He's been awesome. And, so is Garrett. Sato's been great in terms of starting or coming off the bench. It's been a good group. I mean, I think every team is not perfect. Every team's got things they've got to get better at. And certainly this group, there's a lot of things that we need to get better at. But, overall, I've seen, these guys stick together and work together and continually try to get better and improve as a group.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Sam Smith, go ahead.
Bill, I just wanted to ask you one thing about marketing. You mentioned a couple of things right there, too. But it's kind of been, with the trade and all the things you mentioned, it's kind of been a step back again season for him. Did you feel like at the end, played well the other day? Played well, you said today. Do you feel like he's playing for the rest of his Bulls career now at the end of this season?
Yeah, I haven't had so many conversations with Arturis or Mark on that. I would just say this. I really, really love Lowry as a player. I love him all the way around. He's a great guy, and he has been an incredible teammate, and he has sacrificed a lot. And I do think when the trade did happen, he was a guy that was playing the center spot. He was playing the 4 spot. And now it's gone from the 4 to the 3. It's really changed a lot. He's never played the 3, his entire career. And not that he's played a lot of minutes there, but we've played him there and we've done some different things. And, obviously, Daniel being out tonight opened up more opportunities for Patrick at the 4 and Lowry at the 4. But he's been impacted by it. I mean, there's no way of getting around that. And I just appreciate the way he's come in every day and he's tried to be a team guy and tried to take the, as best he can advantage of the minutes that he's gotten. And you know what? The same thing happened to Thad in a lot of ways. Thad was this facilitating guy for us and he was doing so many different things. And well, you know what? Vooch really does that pretty well too. And Tice is a good passer as well. So everybody's had to give up something, to try to make this work. And, clearly with the depth in our front court, you want to make sure that you're trying to utilize your best players as best you can. But in doing that, guys are going to be impacted. And I do think Lowry's been impacted. And I disagree with, anybody that says, well, he's really dropped off or he's tailed off. He's done this. I disagree with that just because it's changed for him. His minutes have changed and his role has changed. So you're talking about a guy that's got a shoulder injury who misses quite a bit of time, comes back after the All-Star break, plays a couple games, and then we've got an entirely different team. And now he's got to kind of invent himself and find himself. I mean, that's a lot. And the one thing I've always asked Larry to do is just compete and play and maximize the time you're out there for the benefit of the team. And he's always done that. And I respect him and appreciate that, from him. But I think the most important stat in this league is minutes played per game. And if anybody proved that tonight, it was Stanley Johnson, and if Larry was playing more minutes, but we've got other really good players out there too. So we're trying to make it all fit together. But Larry's, I think, handled himself great. And I do think he's played well in an entirely different role than the role he started with to start the season.
Thanks.
All right, Billy, that's our last one for you this evening.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank you.